right, artists, we're going to be drawing a picture in the style of Canadian artist Ted Harrison. He's an artist who celebrates nature by painting really beautiful and colorful landscapes. See if I can show this to you on my camera. I'm going to show you some in class, but we're going to be drawing a landscape that has lots of layers like his landscapes do. And you can see that they've got a foreground, a middle ground, and a background. That gives depth to his artwork. I will show you some inspiration pictures, but let's draw one of his landscapes together. And the thing about his landscapes is that they're pretty simple. They're just layers of shapes. I'm going to start by tracing a circle in what will be my sky. This is the top third of my paper. This will be my sun, or maybe a big full moon. I'm not sure yet. I also, before I go too far, want to draw a line across the center of my page. This is going to be hills. So I'm just going to draw kind of a wavy line. It's not too crazy. It's just kind of a little bumpy line. This will be the hills in the middle of my paper. Above the hills, I want to draw some mountains. This is going to be my background. So my mountains will be kind of like a jagged line. These will be much taller than my hills as I fill in my sky. So you can see these resemble mountains. They're just very simple, and that's just fine with me. Down here, I'm going to draw kind of a straight line across because I'm going to have an area that is water. So I think this is going to be some water underneath my hills. In the foreground, I'm going to draw two lines for just some terrain, some rocky landscape, because mountain areas typically have rocky terrain. And I need one more layer in my landscape. So Ted Harrison is famous just for having lots of layers in his landscape, lots of lines. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some interest in the sky by adding some swirling lines. So I'm going to make some lines that swirl out from my sun and kind of take up the space in the sky. They're almost like rainbow lines. They're just free and expressive. And they remind me of Van Gogh's painting, The Starry Night, that I have in my classroom. Because Van Gogh uses lines that kind of flow through space. They flow almost like water flows. So I'm continuing with my lines. And where my lines have overlapped my mountain, I'm just going to erase. All right. So I've got my simple landscape, and the next step is to trace everything with oil pastel. And you can choose whatever color you want. All right, so you can see I've traced all my lines. The next part of the painting will be to fill each of these areas with different values of color. So remember when we made our value scale? This is what we're going to use, all these different color mixes, to make each of these lines a different shade or tint of color. I'm going to pick just two colors for my landscape. And I'm going to make lots of shades and tints to fill in all these different areas. And you can watch.